Everyone, so for today we're going to see how we can set up Bitbucket with our computer. I'm going to use a Mac computer, and how we can use certificates in order to set up our computer. So I'm going to create a brand new repository, and I'll just call it, let's say, testing, or I'll just say it's project 1. I'll say project, that's it. And create a new project. It'll just be called project, I'll say project test. And then it's going to be a private repository, that's fine. Include a readme, yes, sure, with the template, just so we have something. Default branch name, I'll just say project template or project test. Include get ignore, sure. Anything else? I don't think it matters right now, so I'll just create a repository. You could also import a repository if you have something from GitHub or something, but it doesn't matter right now. As long as we have something set up here in Bitbucket, that's good enough. And what we want to do is we want to be able to clone this on our desktop. So in order to set up the certificate, we do need an SSH key. So here, let's see. SSH keys. So it says here pipeline must first be enabled. So go to settings, enable pipelines, okay, so turn that on. Configure, commit Bitbucket. Okay, we need to configure it. Okay. Okay, and I'll just click a starter pipeline for now, just so we have something. And starter pipeline, we could edit this later, but I'll just say commit file for right now. And we just need to wait a few minutes here until it finishes. Now that we've set up this pipeline, it's ready to go, and we should be able to see all this here. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to actually have to add SSH keys now. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to add a key. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to go to our personal Bitbucket settings and SSH keys. I'm going to add another key because I deleted that one, so I'll delete it. And I'm going to add a key, and I'm just going to say project test. And this key, we're going to have to get it from our actual Mac here. So I'm going to just type in terminal. So if we try to clone our project, it's not going to work. The reason why is if I open up Bitbucket again and go to my project test, and if I try to here clone it, so here I'll just go to SSH, and if I try to go to my desktop, so I'm going in my desktop, and what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go to my desktop, and I'm going to have to clone whatever is given to me. So I'll first mkdir project test. I'm just making a folder on my desktop, and the project folder I'll show you is right here now. And I'm just going to have to clone what I have in Bitbucket into that folder. Do a git clone right here, just paste it in. And you can see here that we have permission denied because we have not set up our SSH key yet. The SSH key will come from our computer right here, which is my Mac computer, and we have to set it up here at the back end of Bitbucket in the SSH keys, because this is what allows the user for that specific computer to clone this repository. If I'm not able to set up this key, then the user will not be able to clone the project on their computer. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to find my SSH key. So what I'll do is I'll go to, I have to make sure that I have an ID underscore RSA. So let me go back to the main area, and let me see if I can find. So I have this ID RSA and ID RSA pub, which is good. And let me just check. So in order to generate a key for RSA, if you don't have this ID underscore RSA .pub file, both of these files are needed. You're going to have to run some sort of command like this, and your email. You could just put the email that you used to sign up for this account or whatever works for you. But you're going to have to generate SSH key, so you can either use that command or you can use another command here, which is this one. So this is just a newer version of the command, which apparently is has a more secure algorithm for this one. So it's up to you whichever one you decide to set up. But now that I know that I have my RSA code, I just need to run a command in order to showcase it. So what I'll do is I will run this command cat and then tilde /.ssh/ID underscore RSA .pub, and you're going to have your own key, your own SSH key, so don't copy mine because it's not going to work. But what you want to do is you want to be able to copy this command right here, and I'm going to paste it right there. So I have my command key, I have my SSH key there now pasted here, and all I have to do is click add key, and you can see here it is now configured. So now let's go back to our repository here. I'm just going to refresh, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click clone, so SSH, perfect, and then I'm going to go to my desktop, and I'll go into project test folder that I created right here on my desktop, and I'm going to paste that command to git clone this in the folder. And you can see here we get no errors, and it says that it's able to load it all, it's done. So that means we should have these test files that you see here. We have these test files here. I open it up, project test, and you can see we got these two files. And I think the .getignore is just invisible. Let me just open up Visual Studio Code. Have Visual Studio Code right here. Move it over. you want to save your workspace? Sure, save it. I'm just gonna move it over. I'll just say don't save right now. Okay, and you can see here we got our .getignore file and all these files that we need. So we know that it is now connected, and let's test this out just to make sure. README, I'll put number 2 right there, because when I click on the README here, you should see we got this. But if I put, let's say, number 2 right there, and I save that, and now I go here, you can see here I got my source control. I'm going to push this change over. So now with this, I'll put the number 2 in the README #2 there, and you can see we got this one change that we've created, and you can see this source control, which is pretty nice, what's changing over time. And a message, I'll just put in square brackets. So usually there's some sort of ticket number that we want to set up. So ticket 1, changing README file, and what we have is good. And then I'm just gonna click the plus here to stage the changes, and then I will hit this downward arrow and then commit and push. And if I go back here, refresh, now you can see here we got README number 2. So this is all set up and created, and it's ready to go. Another thing I want to go over is if we have this set up in Visual Studio Code, I want to also be able to see this source control graph and everything in SourceTree. So you can download this program called SourceTree. So right here you can set this up. It is free to download, and it's just another way of seeing all the commits and just being able to manage the pull and push and commits here. So I'm just going to show you how we could set this up as well. What we have to do is we have to set up our repository. I'm going to click on these 3 dots here. Account. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit that. New, clone from remote repository. Okay, so I'm going to add something. So Gitbucket, connect account. Okay, so we got that connected now. So we connected it, yep. Okay, SSH, it's based on our RSA. Okay, and I'm going to leave that as is, and I'm just going to click save. And then now I'll just exit out of here, and I will click on the new, create remote repository. Actually, add existing local repository, that's what I want, add existing local. So I'm going to go to my desktop, project test. So this is our main folder here, project test. So I have that highlighted. I'm going to open this up, and we got it right here in our source tree. Double click it, and now you can see that we have a list of all the changes here, and you can see that we have some information as to what is committed. So you can see that hashtag changed to #2, and you can see here what was created previously, what was the initial commit. So you can see all the different changes, the history here, and it's great that you could now see all the different branches as you go along with the project.